Hey everyone, how's it going? I've got a slightly different video today. Instead of doing my usual technology tutorial review based things, I'm going to give you the chance to get to know me a little bit more and understand what's going on inside this creative little head of mine. Stick around, here's 24 things about me before my 24th birthday, which is in about a week, by the way. So, yeah, getting old. Alright, so let's jump straight into this. Number 1. I grew up alongside the seaside. Now I think that means that I've got a pretty big affection for water and rivers and the ocean. That's maybe one of my biggest inspirations, I'm not sure, but it's definitely why I enjoy West London, especially living by the riverside. Number 2, I am definitely the type of person who always wants to know what is round that corner. So no matter whether I'm walking, exploring, or figuratively, I always want to know what's coming next, what's after, where can this go, what's pushing the boundaries. 3, with that mentality, I am desperate to travel the world. I really want to visit loads and loads of cities and experience as many cultures as I can. Hopefully in the next couple of years I'll be able to do that, and I want to bring everyone along with me in video and photo form. So look out for that, and hopefully I'll get to meet some of you guys along the way. 4, I am somewhat a night owl. I really enjoy staying up late at night. I find it the most peaceful and the most productive time of the day, really. So by staying up at night, there's literally no distractions, there's no light, there's nothing open. I'm able to just get on and crack on with all the work that I have, and it's just peaceful. I love it. I'm a night person. 5. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one. So when I'm brushing my teeth, I kind of count my brush strokes. Not necessarily down to the number, but I do have a particular routine, and when I know I've reached that point in my routine, then I'm done. If anyone or anything interrupts me whilst I'm brushing my teeth, I kind of have to do the routine again. It's a bit of a problem, but at least I get clean teeth. 6. I don't actually know the pins to my bank cards. I know the patterns, the particular numbers, but I don't know the actual numbers themselves. Now that could be a security feature, I don't know. Every time I change my pin, I just remember a new pattern, and I actually don't know the numbers. It's quite interesting, I guess. 7. 2012 was by far my favourite year. Honestly, there was so much amazing stuff happening that year that I couldn't contain myself. I mean, first of all, I was losing my shit over the Olympics. I'd been waiting for this for like 7 years for it to come to London, and when it finally did, oh my days. Also in 2012, that was the final year of my university degree, so there was a lot of exciting things going on there. I was learning a lot and I was developing a lot of new skills. Not to mention, it was also an exciting time for moving into the real world of actually getting a job and working in places. Which brings me on to my next thing. 8. Knowing that 2012 was going to be the most amazing year for me, I decided that I would record everything in stats. Now I mean like literally everything. I used to jot down all of the trains that I would get, pieces of food that I ate, drinks that I drank, shops I went to, whose houses I went to, what TV, what film, what events I did, the things I bought, the amount of times I went to the shower, or the locations I visited. I literally recorded a ton of stuff and put it all into spreadsheets. I've got so much data. The aim was to make a series of infographics and potentially even a book or a website on all of this data about me for 2012. The trouble was, I recorded so much data that it's taken me a ridiculous amount of time to compile everything together. So that's maybe going to come up at some point in the future, but for now it's kind of on the back burner, and I've just got all this data and I haven't done anything with it. There's some interesting numbers in there. Here's one for you. In the month of December, I had more Guinnesses than there are days. Yeah. I do love me a Guinness. 9. In 2009, I did another year-long project. I took a photo of myself every day for 365 days of the year. I use it as a bit of a photo blog, and you can go and check that out on my Flickr. It was interesting to know that I can remember every single day from a whole year. That literally blows my mind. To know that you can pinpoint an exact day and you've got a visual reference of it, that's amazing. I wish more things did that. Maybe I'll do another yearly project. Video? Anybody? 10. I have this crazy affection for angles, patterns, and rhythm. I'm not sure why. I just really like clean lines and technical things that are just right. It comes across in my design work. Everything's very clean, very minimalist. It comes across in, hell, even my desk. I like that to be tidy. I can't stand it being messy. What is this voice? But yes, regimentation is something that is very key to me. I like to have a regimented system, guidelines, grids, everything has its own place, its own set, its own structure. That's me. 11. With all that regimentation and cleanliness, there's one thing I really can't stand. Dust. I hate dust. I really hate dust. I'm dusting my desk probably about 3 or 4 times a day. I can't get any work done until I've dusted my desk. It's ridiculous. It's everywhere. 12. I really enjoy understanding how things work. I like to know a product and how it works to really understand how to use it. Not only that, I like to know how it was made and what its real function is. I think you get a better connection to something when you know what made it or how it was there. Kind of gives you that little bit more of an appreciation for things. Not only that, I like to bring in knowledge of how something was made and hopefully learn something along the way. Honestly, you just can't stop learning. 13. Efficiency is kind of at the core to the majority of the things I do. When I do something, I want to do it again to make sure that I can do it faster, more efficient, and of a higher quality. I feel it makes you stronger in every field that you do, whether it's design, photography, I don't know, cooking. The more efficient you become, the less resources you use, but with the same quality output. If you put in the same amount of resources as what you used before, you get an even higher quality output. It's just how it goes. It's good to be efficient. 14. Generally, I live by quality rather than value. Now what I mean by that is I'd rather spend more on something, knowing that I'm going to get a great product, rather than something that's cheap and convenient. Now I know there are certain things that you may think, I'm never going to use this again, or I will never ever need this, other than this one time. However, I firmly believe there is a lot of things that have multiple uses, and I'd much rather buy something with quality than to just have it because it's cheap. The same can be said for technology. I'd rather spend that little bit more and wait longer to get it, knowing that I'm going to have a better product at the end of it. I just can't stand to see when someone will have something that's just not the highest quality that they could get at that time. That doesn't mean you necessarily always have to spend the most, it just means to put in the research and make sure that you can get what you can afford at the best, rather than just what's the most convenient. There's a difference between quality and value. Yeah, there is. 15. I love research. Honestly, everything that I do, I research the hell out of it. I want to know that I'm making the most of what there is to make the most of. Now it does of course slow things down. If you want to buy something, you can't just go out and buy it. You've got to know that you're buying the right thing. But in the long run, I believe that research is kind of the king of most things. 16. I am generally an optimist. I tend to look at the brighter side of things. I'm definitely a glass half full kind of guy. If something's not quite working, it's not because something's gone wrong, it's because something else maybe hasn't necessarily gone right. Being a negative person, you generally don't want to move forward with stuff. Being an optimist, forward's the only way you can go. 17. September is by far my favourite. There's a lot of stuff that happens in September. Growing up, almost everything was new. Now in the UK, the school year starts from September, so that was always something new every year. Infant school, junior, secondary school, college, university, and then out into the open world. But for me personally, September's also been a great month for starting other things new. I first started working at Apple in September. When I left uni and I went to work at Disney, that was also September. And when I left Burberry to form my own company, guess what? That was September too. 18. I am left-handed. 19. But I am right-handed for most things. So naturally, I write with my left hand, I play sports right-handed, and I eat right-handed, but I think like a left-handed person. Work that one out. See, by being left-handed, that means that the right side of your brain is the most active. Creativity happens to be in the right side of your brain, so I feel being left-handed is a good improvement for me in terms of thinking creatively. Though having that natural right-handed ability acknowledges that the left side of my brain is also very active, and that's where you have things like your numeracy and academia. So that kind of balances this side of my brain up, and I feel it's all quite relative and it works quite well. Of course, everyone's very different and everyone's got their own left and right strengths. 20. If you're starting to get to understand me by now, you'll notice one thing is quite consistent throughout. I always love learning and developing new skills. So at the moment, my big focus is on filmmaking, and that's where this YouTube channel comes in. So I'm looking to develop my skills within film, and I think that the best way to do that is to just do it. I want to film more videos, I want to do more edits, and I want to get faster and better at making these sorts of things so that they're easier to do. But of course, easy isn't always the end goal. No, you just put that same brain power into making something even better. So you're always finding it hard, but the outcome is always better. 21. With learning a lot, you gotta share it. You can't keep information to yourself. I absolutely love sharing information, sharing knowledge. It's one of the greatest things. So by learning a lot about new skills, you probably learn it from someone else. How did they learn that? They learned it from someone else. So if you learn something, you have that gift to then go and give to someone else. So share it. An idea is always best when it's shared 10 times or more. Keeping something to yourself only makes it go stale. 22. One of the biggest things for me is storytelling and communicating. So whether that's communicating an idea through a project, through a design, a brief, a photo, anything like that, it's all about communicating. You know, you could even communicate a message. That's what I enjoy. 23. I have a lot of accents and personas that come out when I'm talking with people, when I'm very comfortable in a situation. I'm not sure why I do it. When I get drunk, it happens even more. Even when recording this video, I've had all sorts of voices and things come out. It's a way of calming me down and just generally exposing my vocal abilities. And finally, here is 24. One of my favourite films of all time is also the very first film I saw at the cinema. Now that could have an effect on why it's my favourite, but I doubt it. Toy Story. Honestly, it is one of the greatest stories and animations ever. It defined an era of computer generation. It was the first feature-length film from Pixar, which has become the most successful animated studio of all time. I am a huge fan of Pixar. Not only that, but Toy Story is just one of the greatest stories. It's what every child loves to think. Their toys come alive, and it's just beautiful. I love it. What can I say? I love Toy Story. I hope when I have kids, they love Toy Story as much as I do. Alright, so those are the 24 things I felt defined me as a person, and hopefully you got to understand me a little bit more, and it kind of gives a bit of a background to my other videos, and hopefully you enjoyed it, it was entertaining, I don't know. I like watching these types of videos. So yeah, if you want to check out some of my other thoughts and processes, go and check me out on Twitter. I post all sorts of things really, whether it's witty comments, links to my work, photos, everything like that. Or, you know what, go check me out on Instagram. Post a lot of images on there. If you want to see more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and of course subscribe if you want to see more content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!